Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome back from your winter break. I hope you're all doing well out there. And for those of you who haven't met me before, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dan Carson, and I'm going to be your physics instructor for this semester. So the purpose of this video is to introduce you to the course, to go over some of the important course policies that you should know as we go into the semester, and also to give you a tour of our Canvas website. Now, that last part is going to be really important because pretty much all business that we conduct in this class throughout the semester is going to happen in Canvas. Everything from the lecture videos to submitting assignments to having discussions with your classmates, all of that is going to happen within Canvas. So it's really important that you know how to navigate the site and you know where to find things. So let's talk about the big picture and how things are going to run this semester, given that the class is completely online. So the first thing to note is that the class will be asynchronous. So what that means is there is no set time when we all meet for class each week. Instead, what I'll be doing is pre-recording all of my lectures and making those available for you to watch in Canvas at your own convenience. So each week, you can expect that there will be 2 lecture videos to watch. They'll each be about an hour and a half in length. And so you'll spend about as much time watching the lecture videos as you would in a face-to-face lecture. And what I would suggest is that you watch the lecture videos each week as early on as possible. So think Monday and Tuesday of each week, you're watching the lecture videos. And that way, you can spend the rest of the week working on your assignments, which will be based on that material in the lecture videos. Another thing that I would suggest is that as you watch the lecture videos, you take an active role rather than just sort of passively listening. So have a notebook by your side as you watch the videos. When we go through a derivation, make sure you get that down in your notebook. If we go through an example problem, make sure you get that down in your notebook as well. So again, take an active role rather than just sort of passively listening, just like we would in a face-to-face lecture. Okay, so early on in the week, you watch the lecture videos, you absorb the new content. Then you're ready to work on your assignments. So each week, we're going to have one homework assignment. It's going to be fairly long, so think maybe 5 or 6 hours each week working on those homework assignments. And we'll have one lab assignment. The way labs are going to work is obviously a little bit different now that we're online. So here is how most of the labs will work. I'm going to create a short video which explains how an experiment is performed. You're going to actually see me carry out that experiment in the video, and I'm going to collect some data. And your lab activity is going to be focused on analyzing that data and answering questions about the procedure that I carried out in the video. Now, some weeks there won't even be a video that accompanies the lab. It'll just be a standalone worksheet, but for the most part, that's how things are going to work. So the basic components of the course that will keep coming up each week are the lecture videos, the homework assignments, and the lab assignments. Now, because all of these things are asynchronous, it's really important that you find a way to build these things into your schedule. So each week, make sure you've carved out enough time to actually complete these tasks. And hopefully, as we get deeper into the semester, you'll have sort of developed a rhythm for how things go each week. Now, of course, as you go through the videos and you go through the assignments, you'll have questions that arise. And so I want you to also take advantage of office hours. So I will be holding office hours over Zoom for a total of 5 hours each week, and you can just come and go as you please to get your questions answered. So anything from conceptual questions from the lecture, if you have a homework problem that you're not sure how to do, if there's something from the lab you're not sure how to do, come to office hours and you will get your questions answered. So really take advantage of that. Information about my office hours is going to be posted on the Canvas homepage, so you can see the schedule of my office hours and a link to join my Zoom meeting on the homepage. And if you can't make it to office hours for whatever reason and you still have a question you want answered, I'd be happy to do office hours by appointment, so you could just email me and you could set something up. The other option is to use the message boards on Canvas. So each week I open up a new message board on Canvas, and basically you can just post a question pertaining to anything that's happening that week, and I'll be sure to answer it within 24 hours. And you can also feel free to chime in if a student asks a question and you think you know the answer to that, and we can get some discussion going. Okay, so this is the Physics 47 Canvas page. If you log into your Canvas account and you go to Physics 47, this is what you're going to see on the home page. Now at the very top, we have announcements, so make sure you're checking this frequently to get up-to-date information about what's going on in the class. If we scroll down a little bit, my contact information is here. You can email me at this address. Also, information about my office hours. This is the schedule for office hours, and this is a link that you can use to join my Zoom meeting where I'll be actually holding office hours. If we scroll down a little bit more, this is the weekly schedule for the semester. So right now, it's only filled out for week 1, but as we continue on in the semester, this will be filled out week by week. You can see what lectures that we're going to be covering that week, which lab assignments that you need to work on, and which homework assignments you need to work on. So this kind of summarizes everything we'll be doing each week. Another thing you can find on the homepage is a copy of the syllabus. So if you click here and hit preview, a copy of the syllabus will open up. And there are just a few things that I want to point out here. You should read through this in its entirety. There's a lot more to say, but I'm just going to highlight some things. Number 1, make sure you get a copy of the textbook, Giancoli, Physics for Scientists and Engineers, the 4th edition. Make sure you get a copy of that because a lot of the homework problems are going to come from the textbook. Also, here's some information about your grade. This is how I'll be calculating final grades. Homework will be 15%, labs will be 20%, tests will be 45%, and then the final exam will be 20%. So as far as the tests go, there will be 3 of them throughout the semester. So each one of those tests will be worth 15% of your final grade. And then I have a policy for lab and homework assignments that you should be aware of. So for homework assignments, I drop the lowest score from the record before calculating your final grade. And the same thing for lab assignments. The lowest score is going to be dropped before calculating your final grade. I'm not dropping any test scores, definitely not dropping the final exam score. So just be aware of that. Now, the reason I dropped the lowest homework and lab score is just to give you a little bit of leeway. I know that things come up throughout the semester that cause you to miss an assignment. You can safely miss 1 homework and 1 lab assignment without any real penalty to your grade. Now, that's the breakdown of how your grade is calculated. I'm going to be assigning letter grades based on the standard 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. And I'm also going to be assigning plus and minus grades. So just be aware of that. That's how your grade is calculated. Okay, so this is just a little bit of elaboration on my 1 drop policy for lab and homework assignments. Also, I do accept late work as explained here. I'll accept late work up to a week after the deadline with a 15% deduction for each day that an assignment is late. But after a week has passed, I'm not going to be accepting late work anymore. That's the policy. Also, when it comes to homework, just be aware that after a week has passed, after an assignment is due, I'm going to be posting the solutions. So if you turn in a homework assignment and there's still things that you're not sure about as far as the solutions that you submitted, just know that I'm going to be posting the solutions a week after each homework assignment is due. Okay, so here on the 3rd page of the syllabus, we have a little bit of information about submitting assignments online. So all assignments are going to be submitted through Canvas. That includes all the homeworks, all the labs, and even your tests. That's all going to be submitted through Canvas. Now, most of you are going to be doing your work by hand, just writing out your solutions on paper. So for those of you who do your work with pencil and paper, you're going to be taking a picture of each page of your work, combining all of those pages into a single document, and then uploading those pages to Canvas. You can also use a scanner, of course, but I know many of us have smartphones, so there's actually an app you can use, which I give you information about over here called Genius Scan, where if you take a picture of all your work, it will create a PDF with all of those pictures as a single file, and you can upload that to Canvas. So most people are going to do something like this. Also, if you have a tablet that you do your work on, you can feel free to use your tablet and just upload your file directly from your tablet. I'm pretty flexible with how you submit your work as long as it's all there and it's very legible and clear to read. Okay, just scroll down a little bit more. Here's some information about the tests and the final exam. I actually do have a tentative schedule for the tests and the final exam. So you can see that here. How are we going to be conducting tests? Well, basically, on the day of a test or the final exam, I'm going to be posting a PDF version to Canvas, and you can download that. I'll just give you 24 hours to complete that and upload your solutions. So the test will be open book and open note. I'm not really going to have any control as to whether you can look at your books and your notes, but you will have to work individually. And if you collaborate with someone else, or if you post a question to a message board like Chegg, I'm aware that Chegg exists, so just giving you fair warning, that's going to be considered academic dishonesty, and it will result in a 0 on the test. Also, just general stuff about academic integrity. I expect all students to abide by what's outlined in the student handbook as far as academic integrity is concerned. So if you have any questions about that, do consult the student handbook. Okay, so those are some things from the syllabus that I wanted to outline, but of course, do read through this in its entirety. Make sure you understand all the policies. I want to show you some other things that you can find on the course website. If you click here, you'll see the same announcements that you see at the top of the home page. If you click here under discussions, you'll see the message boards that I've created where you can have a discussion with your classmates and post questions. If you click here under files, you can find any file that pertains to the course. In particular, I've arranged this with folders. So there's a folder with the syllabus. There is another folder here with the lecture notes. So the lecture notes that I use in my videos can be found here. And also lab activities can be found here. And other handouts, just miscellaneous things, can be found in this folder. So again, if you click Files on the left side of the page here, all of the important course documents can be found there. Okay, now probably the most important thing is modules. So if you click here on modules, you'll see that there's a module for the first week of class. And as we continue on in the semester, I will be opening up a new module each week of class that passes. So if we open up this module, we can take a look at what's here. The first thing is a to-do list. Okay, so each week I'm going to give you a to-do list that just tells you what are the tasks that you need to complete each week. And that's going to be there at the top of the module every time I open up a new one. So if we go to what's next, here is information about the lecture videos. So read this information. And the links to those lecture videos are shown here. So you can actually open up those videos just by clicking the play button. Okay. And you can also open up the videos in a new tab if you click on the link here. I'm also going to show you the links to my notes that I use in these lecture videos. So you can access those if you click here. And again, it will open up a PDF of those lecture notes. Okay, so this is what you'll use when going through the lectures each week. We go to the next page in the module. This is a really easy opportunity for extra credit. So I want to make sure that everyone is comfortable with submitting their written work online. So in this practice assignment, you'll basically just write anything at all on 2 separate pieces of paper, take pictures of those papers, and upload them to Canvas in a single file. And you'll get 5 points of extra credit for your homework if you do this. Okay, going to the next page in the module. This is the first homework assignment. It's going to be due on Tuesday, January 19th, just before midnight at 11:59 p.m. So the information about the assignment is shown here. I also am going to show you a rubric so you can see the point breakdown of all the different parts of the homework assignment. And you can upload your assignment here if you click Submit Assignment at the top of the page. Okay, so this is where you'll be uploading your file for your homework assignment. Okay, going to the next thing. This is your first lab assignment. So again, this is a description of the assignment. The due date is Tuesday, January 19th. So that's during the second week of class. So you'll have about a week to work on this. And there's a rubric just breaking down how I'm going to grade this assignment. Okay, so that's the first lab of the semester. And then as we go on, I have a message board that I opened up where we just sort of introduce ourselves. So please post in this. I see one person has posted already. Just introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about your major. What are your goals for taking the course? And any other information you might want to share, just to introduce yourself. And then finally, the last thing in the module is just a message board to post any questions you might have about anything that's going on during the first week of class. Okay? So if we go back to modules, again, these are the different components of the module. Each week, I'm going to open up a new one. You'll see the lecture videos for that week, the homework assignments for that week, as well as the lab assignments for that week, and any message boards that I might open up so we can have a discussion about things that are going on that week of class. So there's a lot of information here, but hopefully as we continue on in the semester, you'll get used to the rhythm of things and how the class is structured. So with that said, we'll end this video here. Hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope we have a great start to the semester. See you later.